Just be out with us.
So, Whistler, located in Canada, British Columbia. So, what is Whistler? It is the largest ski resort in Canada. I snowboard myself. I've been to quite a few ski resorts, but I have never experienced a ski resort like this. And yes, we're in summertime. You might think, what is there to do summertime?
Oh, just as much as winter.
Whistler is literally all season resort. You see the Olympics rings right behind us. Why? Because in 2010, Whistler held Canadian Winter Olympics, and they tried from 1962 to apply to hold the Olympics when there was nothing built in this area, and now it is one of the most expensive ski resorts and one of the largest.
And we're about to show you and tell you a few things about Whistler that you may not possibly know.
If you're new to our channel, my name is Irina.
And I'm Devan.
And we are Just Be Out. We left Hawaii to start our 3-year full-time world travel journey, creating informative travel videos so you get the most out of your vacation. Just be out with us.
Now we're in this pristine location. Now you see the color of the water, it's so awesome. Cool to stand here, take photos, and no, they didn't color this water. This is the actual color of the water coming down from the glaciers, and they divert it through the village. Now speaking of divert rivers and flow, when they thought about the concept and the design of Whistler before it was built, they had people come in and give different renditions of what it would look like. Well, most of the ones they were getting, they were kind of grid, you know, your basic left, right, up, down. And they didn't want it that way. They wanted something different, something special. So when they hired the designer that actually designed this in, he made it kind of a flow. If you will notice once you're here, there are no sharp corners around in the village. Everything has a nice beveled edge. It's nicely curved. It's because he wanted everything to flow. And not only did he want everything to flow, but he wanted to make it confusing. That's why when you're here in Whistler, if you get lost, don't think it's you. It's the designer's plan to get you lost. That was the whole main plot of this whole design, is that everything flows into each other and you kind of don't know where you're at. Everything kind of maybe looks the same. There's no hard corners, no hard edges, which is really awesome. So it's not you, it's Whistler.
To see how massive this ski resort is, you have to look at the map. It consists of 2 mountains, the Blackcomb and the Whistler Mountain. Blackcomb Mountain elevation is 8,000 feet and the Whistler Mountain elevation is 7,160 feet. And the lifts go all the way up to the peak of Whistler Mountain. Looking at the map, it looks just like a child took a crayon and scribbled all over it, but it's actually all different types of gondolas and ski lifts that will take you all the way up, and they have a lot of different trails for skis and snowboarding, from beginners to double diamond experts. You can see here the lifts are on both mountains, the Whistler Mountain and the Blackcomb Mountain, and the gondolas go down to the main village. This is the main village area. So you go from main village, you can either take your gondola to Whistler Mountain or to Blackcomb Mountain. On the board behind me, you can see just how sophisticated the gondola system is here at Whistler. It starts all the way from Creekside, and the red color represents that it's closed right now because those are winter gondolas, and the green ones that are open right now. So the reason why you would take the gondola during summertime or fall is because, first of all, it's for seeing and hiking. There are a lot of hiking trails all the way up there with beautiful lakes and scenery. Or some gondolas you can take for mountain biking. And what's really cool is that you can see on the bottom there is Whistler Village, and there are 2 mountains, Whistler Mountain and Blackcomb Mountain. So you can take, if you're, let's say, snowboarding wintertime, you can take the gondola all the way from Creekside, go up, snowboard down, then take another gondola at Whistler, and then go all the way up, and then take peak to peak and go all the way to Blackcomb Mountain. It's really cool how you can start on one side of Whistler and end up all the way on the other side. Fun story about why the mountains are called the Black Comb and Whistler. If you look at the Black Comb Mountain, the very top of the mountain is black, and the way the mountain is shaped, it reminds you of a comb of a rooster. That's why the color black, and the rooster comb, black comb. And Whistler, to my left hand side, has a lot of horned marmots living there, and they make really funny sounds. That's why the name of the mountain is called the Whistler, referring to the sound of the horned marmot. To understand where you might want to book accommodations in Whistler, you really need to look at the map. Even though the resort and this area is pretty large, it's actually really walkable and accessible. The biggest area on the map you see is the Whistler Village, and it consists of the main village and the north village, and everything there is accessible, it's walkable, and you can walk from one to the other end in about 10 to 15 minutes. There are a lot of lodges you can find in the main village and lots of restaurants and shops. So if you want to be in the main area where everything is happening, you might want to consider staying in the main village. Right behind the main village, you will see a really large parking lot, and it consists of several lots. And right behind it, there is Upper Village. To walk from Upper Village to the main village takes about 10 to 15 minutes. Again, depends from which part of the village you walk to, but there are also transfer buses that go from Upper Village to the main village. And right behind the Upper Village is Benchlands, which is where we were actually staying, and we really enjoyed that area. This area consists more of condos and lodges, and they're just separate standalone areas with lots of trees in between, so there's no shops, no restaurants in that area. And again, you can take the bus that connects Benchlands to Upper Village to Main Village. Here is on the bottom, you will find Whistler Creekside. This is the original place where Whistler started their development. This is where the very first gondola was built. And again, here there are a lot of shops, restaurants, cafes, and it's only about 10-minute bus ride from the Whistler Creekside to the main village. And here you can see there are some roads. Here is more of a residential area. There are some private houses, also condos, and again the bus system connects all this area to other parts of the village.
Now, besides all your major lodges and your hotels here, such as the Four Seasons and all the other major ones, the ones with maybe 8, 9, 10 floors, you have these behind me. These are the smaller lodges. You notice they have 3 to 4 floors. They're located all over the main village. So there's so many different types of accommodations, which is really cool. And the cool thing about these lodges is that below it, you will always find clothing shops, cafes, all different types of stores, even pharmacies you'll find below these lodges.
Whistler is the most expensive ski resort area, well, at least in Canada. It has variety of luxury accommodations, including Four Seasons. Well, there is no really budget type, so the minimum start at $100 and go all the way up. The Whistler management actually recommends you to come and experience Whistler without a car. You do not need to have a car. There are shuttle buses that will take you hiking, and the village is walkable and very accessible. But if you do decide to take your car, keep in mind a lot of parking spots are paid parking. Even if you book a hotel or a lodge, you might have to pay for parking. Where we are staying in a condo, there is a designated condo parking, but it is paid parking. If you want to know how to get to Whistler by a shuttle bus like we did, we will leave the link to our vlog in the description below. We were so surprised and amazed by the bus system here in Whistler. The buses go everywhere you pretty much would need them to go. They go through every single condo complex and even outside of Whistler. So we went hiking, we took the bus out. Right now the buses are free, but normally they are $2.50 per person per ride. The buses are really reliable and they run on a schedule on the dot. You can see bus schedules on each bus stop, and every time we took a bus, they came on time.
We are now entering the North Village. Now the North Village is an extension of the Central Village, and it's connected by an overpass, a bridge if you will. Now this village was an extension because obviously this place is forever expanding. It's funny, the same person that designed the Central Village, the one that you get lost in, is the same one that designed this one. They call him back to do that, and you'll probably get lost on this side as well. This side is really cool. They have the largest supermarket there, major parking area, along with other cool stores and shops. And also what you can find on the north side of this village is the Olympic rings. They're also here, and the area where they presented the trophies. There's a massive stage area where they presented the trophy to all the Olympic winners. That's also on this side. And like I mentioned, there's a supermarket. That's all on the north side. Let's go check it out. And now we are almost at the end of this North Village. As you can see, ta-da! This is where you'll probably find most people taking photos of the Olympic ring, and this is where it is. And right behind the rings, you notice there's a park. Let's go over there now and we'll show you where the ceremonies took place. And here it is, just to the left of the Olympic rings, you have the ceremonial stage. Now this is the stage where they brought up all the athletes. Bronze, silver, and gold medal winners would stand up on the stage. They come up here, they get the trophy, they get their medals, and also the torches and everything. It was all done in this area right here. And it's pretty awesome to see it like this. And now we're at the furthest end of the North Village. And as I mentioned, here is Fresh Street Market, and this is the Whistler's largest supermarket. Here you'll find a variety of things, and as I mentioned before, there are other smaller markets within the village, but they're limited. They do have a lot of things too, because we've been there before, but this you will get a much larger variety of stuff. And don't forget, we went into the supermarket and we got the prices of different items to compare it to where you live and see if it's more expensive or less expensive. So don't forget to check that video out. We'll leave it in the description below, or also right up here. Now let's talk about safety here. As you can see, there's enforcement walking around this premises all the time. And not only that, something really cool. We were hiking at Lost Lake the other day, and there were actually hikers as well, police officers that are hiking the trails to make sure everything goes clockwork, which is really, really reassuring. And overall, it feels really, really safe here, even as far as like maybe leaving your bag on a bench or something like that. And in the evening time, everyone comes out and it's a really safe environment.
Whistler's summer and winter experiences are completely different, and we cannot wait to come back here comes winter time. This lush grassy area turns into an ice skating ring comes winter time, and they also built little hills and slides for little kids to play around. Super cool. This farmers market is absolute must visit. It happens every Sunday from 11 a.m. till 4 p.m. in Upper Village of Whistler. It has so much cool stuff, a lot of handcrafted jewelry, handcrafted decor, painting. There are a lot of artists here. There is a live performance here, even a trampoline, not to mention all the fresh produce and all the awesome food stops that they have here. Super cool vibes here.
So as I told you, they have everything here. And of course, they would have a full-size pharmacy. Well, being here in Whistler, there's snowboarding, ATV, everything for bumps, aches, scratches, bruises. You're covered, because this is not the only pharmacy they have here. There are other ones spread out throughout the areas, but yeah, they have that too. So here I'm standing in front of Garfinkel's. Now this place is really cool. Our first night when we were here was on the weekend. We happened to pass by here. They had a few people out here kind of soliciting people to come in to do a pub crawl. So on the weekend they do a pub crawl, and this is one of few bars here. I think there's 3 or 4 major bars here. And for $89, they take you on a pub crawl or a bar crawl throughout the entire village, and you can party for about an hour in each location. You could stay in whatever location suits you. But yeah, even nightclubs they have here. Crazy. Now, when we said that Whistler is a village, best believe it is a village, and a very complex one as well. And there's nothing really you can't find here. As you can see behind me, it's actually a theater there. So when you come here in the evening and you want to go to a theater, see a movie, they have it here too. Obviously, you're coming here and you're a tourist and you need your banking needs, not a problem. Blue Shore Financial Bank, they have ATM, they have tellers here that can assist you in your financial needs as well.
You will find benches and chairs everywhere. Every few feet there are places for you to relax, enjoy, maybe have a drink or a snack.
Now this place, Caramba, is right behind me. We were told by one of the guides here that this is one of the most popular places to eat. The food is really good. We never ate here, so we don't know. If you've come here and you've eaten here, let us know in the comment. That way, share it with other people, because if it's a hot spot, you know we need to know where it is. And it's located inside the Eagle Lodge. This place is very family oriented. There are so many families here. Large families, we've seen families as much as 15. So, with that being said, there are also a lot of babies, and we noticed there are a lot of strollers. And with strollers, obviously, there are a lot of stairs, bringing your strollers up and down stairs. But the cool thing about this village is that there are a lot of ramps for strollers, wheelchairs, and of course, with all the bicycles here, bikes as well.
Whistler does a really great job organizing specialty events. Every month there is something: mountain biking festival, beer festival, a runners festival, and so much more. Every month there is always something to look forward to. Besides that, you will find throughout the village so many different performances, live music and entertainment. And besides that, they have a concert stage, and Whistler organizes concerts. So June and July there was concerts every single week with different performances and artists. If you have been to Whistler before, let us know what your experience was like, and if we missed anything of things that you should know before coming to Whistler.
We know the experiences are different winter as opposed to summer here in Whistler. Let us know what season you came.
If you found this video useful, don't forget to click like, and your support goes a long way. So if you want to help us make more videos like this, please click the heart button right below this video. Thank you so much for watching, and as usual,
Just be out with us. Cheers.